What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. So you can see I'm actually outside on a beach in Puerto Rico. Me and Tom, Tom's my video guy by the way, he's back there. We're actually in a terrible, very small Airbnb right now, terrible lighting. So we thought, hey, let's go outside, let's shoot it out here. Now in the video today, what I wanna talk about specifically is a conversation that I had in a Facebook message. Someone sent me a message and said, hey, I talked to your team, I like the program, but I was wondering if I can get on calls with you. Now, two sides to that I really want to address in this video. The first being is that obviously I can't hop on calls with every single client I have because of the amount of scale we're at. There's simply not enough time in the day for me or any CEO for that matter of a 7, 8, 9-figure company to be jumping on calls with people. But that's not really what stood out to me. What stood out to me was what he said after, and he said, me and my partner like to move fast, and so that intrigued us. So what I found really interesting about that comment is that typically, the people who ask for too much help, they don't actually get results. And so let me explain to you what I mean. The goal whenever you hire someone or you get a service, or really consulting in general, should be to ask the fewest amount of questions to get the maximum amount of results. So what do I mean by that? Whenever you're on a Zoom call, or really when you're in any program, typically before you ask for more help, you have to implement, right? So when you're building a business and someone says, hey, you need to go start your LLC, you need to message this many people, you need this many sales calls, and they tell you how to do it, by the next day, 12 hours, 24 hours later, there's really nothing more to talk about because nothing's been done. But the mindset of most people and their mentality is that, well, I paid a large sum of money or a sum of money for this, so I want to get my money's worth, and they equate money to time. They think that if they pay a lot of money, then they should get X amount of time. When in reality, rich people or wealthy individuals focus on results, right? So to give you context, I've paid someone $25,000, I paid someone $75,000, I paid someone $35,000, and I had maybe 1 or 2 conversations for the entire thing because I wasn't paying to talk to them, I was paying for a specific result. And so what stuck out to me in this conversation is they equated getting a call with me every day as, I guess, value. And I can see why someone would think that because they look at me and they go, well, the success you had or the money you make, so if I get to talk to you, that's gonna help me. But in reality, most people are not even in a position where they can utilize what's being taught. So another one of my wealthy friends, we're actually doing a podcast today. You guys probably know him, Alex Hermosi. He gives great advice. In fact, his YouTube channel is absolutely blown up and I'm super happy for him. But you'll notice that a lot of the advice he gives is more higher level, at least in my opinion. I feel the advice is geared towards me, someone who's at 10, 15, $20 million a year and wants to get to 100 versus a beginner who's maybe at 0 and wants to get to 10 or 0 wants to get to 100K. So they listen and they listen and listen and they listen, they love it, but they don't go and implement anything, so they don't get any results. If you go back to the beginning when I was starting a business, what I did is I would ask questions in Messenger. I actually hated Zooms. I was like, I don't want to waste time. I'd ask a question in Facebook and I would work while I waited for the answer because I knew to get more leads, to get more calls, to get more sales, I was going to have to take action. It wasn't going to happen by being on Zoom calls. To summarize, what I want you to understand is by staying on Zoom calls all day, by asking a million questions, yes, you do have to ask for help, but the goal should be to ask for as little as possible so you can spend as much time as possible doing the tasks that will actually make you money. Just by asking a lot of questions doesn't mean you're going to be successful. It's implementation. And so whenever I ask questions, I do ask a lot. You can ask anyone. But what I do is I ask, and while I'm waiting for an answer, it's usually in a message, I will keep working and making sales and so forth. So my biggest advice to you is you don't necessarily need more one-to-one, especially if you're a beginner. You don't necessarily need more Zoom calls. You need to do more implementation. The reason you're not making more money is you're not doing tasks that make money, right? As in asking questions. That does not directly equate to money. It can help you, but it doesn't directly equate to money. So my biggest advice is don't equate value to time. Equate value to the right direction and path, and then the results come by you taking action. And there's usually a big disconnect between top performers and people who stay stuck. And if you could close that gap down and take action after you get the information, you're gonna go a hell of a lot farther. Same thing for my YouTube. If you watch all my videos but you do nothing after them, you might as well not even watch. It's not really actually helping you. It may make you feel like you're being productive, but you're actually not. So that's all I got in this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, as always, make sure to give it a subscribe and then check out one of my 2 videos on the left or the right hand of the screen. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.